So the live streamer Vaush has finally responded for being exposed for having some very disturbing things saved on his computer, and honestly his response really surprised me, so let's just get right into it. So if you haven't been caught up with what's going on with the live streamer Vaush, he's pretty much like some socialist live streamer who's been known for some pretty concerning takes in regards to things like the age of consent, and just recently he actually exposed himself live on stream for having folders on his computer, things like disturbing pictures of horses as well as lolly content, so all things that are very disgusting and disturbing. And of course we covered this when it initially came out, and it looks like Vaush has finally responded to the allegations, so let's see what he has to say.
This is a video I probably should have made a long time ago. There are two main reasons why I haven't. For one, everything we're about to talk about has been discussed over and over and over again on this channel. Second main reason I've been hesitant to make this video is because experience has taught me that, generally speaking, if folks want to hate you or distrust you or whatever else, it's pretty difficult to convince them otherwise. Some folks online have called me a pedophile. Now, this in and of itself isn't actually that noteworthy. With the political climate being what it is, folks are getting accused of being pedophiles on Twitter left and right.
So first off, I actually agree with him when he says this. Like, when I was watching this response video, it definitely, regardless of what he said, it definitely wasn't going to turn me into a Vaush fan. So I see what he's saying there. And then he also goes on to say that the EDP445 word gets spread around way too much. And I gotta say, Vaush has been known in the past to do this exact same thing. So you can't, on one hand, be a part of the people calling anyone pretty much you dislike, you know, the EDP445 word, and then also when it starts happening to you, act like it's some whole problem. Like, you are one of the reasons this has become such a popular thing. And I think more and more people are starting to realize that just calling people these really disturbing names, like when you get accused of being an EDP445, it is very serious. At least it used to be really serious, but now people throw around that term all the time, and it's starting to slowly lose its meaning. And just to clarify, I do not think that Vaush is a pedo. I definitely think he's a freak and a creep. I mean, the stuff he had saved on his computer was disturbing no matter which way you put it. But I definitely think there's a difference between, like, Vaush, you know, having weird things of young anime characters saved on his computer compared to, like, say, EDP, you know, driving 2 hours to meet up with a 13-year-old. We gotta put those two things on a different scale. So yes, I do believe that Vaush is a freak, but I do not believe he's at EDP445 levels just yet. Only 18% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Don't be part of the 81%. Subscribe to the channel. You have nothing to lose.
We'll start with the absolute worst of it, the monstrously stupid argument that I made way back when I first started streaming that has since haunted me and irreparably tarnished my reputation. Now, this clip is the one that I see cited most often when people are accusing me of being a pedophile. That's not even a little surprising to me, though. It sounds pretty bad.
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of...
Like I said, pretty bad. This clip is from right after I started streaming, so a significant portion of my career as a live streamer has been spent providing context for the clip over and over to many people and many audiences. When they see me or my fans say that this or any other clip has been taken out of context, it comes across to them as an effort to shoo away legitimate suspicion, you know, chastising people for having an opinion on something that looks bad. Now, don't get me wrong, the clip is bad. It's rhetorically bad, it's logically bad, it's obviously optically bad, and the broader argument that it's pulled from are bad in all of those ways too. But as for what the clip and the argument that it's pulled from say about me, I would like to make the case, if I may, that it does implicate me, but not as a pedophile, rather as a fucking idiot, debate bro, brain-poisoned jackass.
The exact clip that Vaush is talking about here, where he pretty much argues in favor of lowering the age of consent, is honestly really disgusting, and I actually think he goes on further to make a good response to this and pretty much say that, yeah, it was kind of taken out of context, but this is the kind of thing when you make stupid comparisons, and Vaush even later admits to this, that this was a really stupid comparison. You know, he's trying to be the master debater, wink wink.
Ruined it with edgy, contrarian, devil's advocate nonsense. So let me explain. I had just started live streaming, and I was far more argumentative and belligerent and arrogant then than I am now, if you can believe that. Over the background of my mediocre Dead Cells gameplay, an argument with chat on the subject of foreign labor and unethical production was getting increasingly heated. I wanted to construct an argument that would effectively and succinctly convey the severity of the problem, how intertwined human suffering is with the regular products that we buy and use every day. Shock value was essential because I needed to prove how edgy and daring I was, and I wanted to really drive home the hypocrisy of the people arguing against me, who said you were downplaying, I guess, the issue with the whole child slavery intertwined in our, you know.
As much as in one point I gotta give him credit here, because what he's saying, you know, in theory at least it makes sense, but in practice, comparing, you know, how we get our iPhones and, you know, the chips in our iPhones versus, you know, obtaining and looking at, you know, CP, that kind of thing, is, at least in my opinion, it's completely two different things. But this is just such a crazy comparison that even in context, it does not make him look good.
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child should be illegal. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever. What are they called? Yeah, blood diamonds. Yeah, all of our clothes produced by sweatshops, our computers with silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves. In our society, we have already deemed that people are not responsible for the mechanisms by which the media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. You like that argument? Ooh, you like that? You like that moral culpability? You're all worse than fucking CP owners, and I am too. Do you like that? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Shit sucks, right? But if we accept that argument for slave labor, then we definitely have to accept it for child.
Yeah, there you go. My dumb goal here was to spark indignant outrage, to make people who downplayed the immorality of unethical supply chains to reflect on the harm they were enabling through comparison and look bad. You know, it was meant to be like an invective, like something like, it gets... it's punchy, it gets right through to people. Obviously, it didn't work. The only person I succeeded in making look bad was me, and that wasn't one of the goals, so yeah, no, pretty bad.
Again, credit where credit is due. It definitely looks like Vaush has, you know, grown from this moment and changed his opinion as he's grown. And you gotta give him some credit for owning up to his own mistakes, because yeah, this was a pretty bad mistake. But at least he's like, yeah, that was a dumb opinion.
It's a stupid argument. I definitely don't agree with it anymore. I probably didn't agree with it like very shortly after I made it because I was arguing about it. The incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube and is, to my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing, to say the least. I hit save as, and a half second later, a preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on furry, demon, monster, GF, big dick porn stuff I knew I had in there. You know, I had rambled about liking all that stuff on stream before, not a secret. And by the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist. Obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now, the obvious and predictable but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know. The clear and simple explanation for why, you know, for not just those 2 drawings, but in fact all the drawings in that folder and all my porn tastes generally. And it's an explanation that is extremely well known and well substantiated. I'm a size queen. I like big dicks.
Yeah, so you know what? I think that's where I'm going to have to end off reacting to his clips. I mean, that's just not a good explanation to why you have like horse stuff saved on your computer, bro. You know, on one hand, like I get it, you know, everyone has some different tastes when it comes to that stuff, but that is just way too degenerate for me. And the craziest part about that is you can still be into that stuff and not have it associated with horses and animals. So, but that's just my thoughts on the situation. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments.